What's up, guys? I have some OST here. This is round 8, maybe? It's the top 8, so quarterfinals, between Poek, who you've probably seen on my channel before because he's in, he was in SPL before SPL finished, and his opponent is iloveleague, who hasn't really been in tournaments much. I think he was in World Cup last year. So League's team looks, I guess, a little bit less conventional than... But no, never mind. Poek has Rain with no Swift Swimmers, so they're both kind of strange teams, which is cool. I guess League is pretty weak to Greninja in the rain because his water resists are frail. Serp could potentially do something because Celesteela can't... I guess Celesteela can outlast it kind of in the rain especially, but with Leech Seed the Serp will be a big menace. The Chomp could be Mega on Poek's team, and for League the Sizz is probably Mega. But there are like a lot of countermeasures to Sizz on Poek's team. So Defog Sizz is pretty common at the moment, so League could definitely have that, which is probably more likely than him having spikes on Greninja. Although spikes would help the Serperior and maybe a Shift Gear Magearna and then like Banded Zygarde or something, so it could be a more offensive team than it looks. Yeah, Poek's team is super weird. I guess this is like Rain semi-stall, and that would make, I guess, Mega Chomp or just like Dragon Z-move Chomp kind of makes sense, but I think Mega Chomp would be a bit better of a stall breaker, although not necessarily. Like in the rain it kind of inhibits your stall breaking a bit, but you can run like SD Aqua Tail. So yeah, I guess Clef could just be his idea of the stall breaker. Like, I won't spoil it, but I have a Clefable set that has a very easy time of beating stall. Might use that in a video at some point. So we're just swapping some hazards. Yeah, this Lando could be his Z-move user, I guess. It's more likely to be Helmet because he has very little other like fighting resists and just stuff to take hits. And Magearna is very often a Z-move user. So Switch is out there, which is kind of odd. Poek's Switch, I think, is odd, and League is actually probably Double Dance. I don't know what he was expecting, really, with the Clef play. I guess he wanted to get rocks up on, like, an Earthquake, but U-turn was pretty easy for League that turn. So he crits the Moonblast. I guess Clef will just get sacked here, because I guess he could go to Celesteela and then try to go back. I don't really... yeah, like, Lando's health is important, so I understand him saying ouch. But yeah, you could definitely go to Celesteela here. I don't see League wasting his Z-move this turn. But like, you go to Celesteela, dodge the Earthquake, then like either protect or go back to Clefable to burn the Z-move. But yeah, sacking Clef is always what you're going to end up doing, and then you can just like bring in Greninja and quite likely get your Battle Bond evolution. The Ferrothorn has spikes, so like the Gren is, especially with rain support, I was always thinking Battle Bond Greninja. So yeah, that should be able to just come in. I guess he's debating like whether he wants to go for Hydro Pump or just Shuriken here, but I think you kind of need to go for Hydro Pump because otherwise the Magearna, if it's AV, is just going to come in like way too easily. And now that we've seen SD on this, AV Magearna makes more sense because that's like, if you're not Z-move Magearna, you're usually AV, and SD Lando without a Z-move is kind of unheard of, especially like with rocks at the moment. So yeah, I don't really see a... I guess he could go to Garchomp, but I think Greninja and Hydro Pump just poses like such a big threat that League can't do anything but sack this Lando. which he would probably do against the Garchomp too. Okay, Chomp does come in. So, I get, yeah, we'll find out what kind of Chomp it is here. If he Mega Evolves, he goes to 311 speed, so he would still be faster than this Lando, and that extra power might let him kill with a Dragon Claw. Because I'm sort of surprised that he wants to use his Z move for this, because I sort of doubt that just a regular Dragon Claw would kill this from here, although I'm probably underestimating Garchomp. But anyway, we'll see in a second. Maybe Poek is, like, just having internet problems or something. I don't understand why people say timer, because, like, Poek is sitting there. That doesn't... Okay, that actually would help to highlight him, but, it is Mega Chomp, and yeah, Dragon Claw happens. So... yeah, this is kind of unlikely to have, a fire move in the rain. Although you could, like, I think Aqua Tail... even if this is your stall breaker, makes more sense than, like, Fire Blast or Fire Fang on a rain team. So, that doesn't mean, like, he'd probably just Earthquake here, yeah. And the Sizz, yeah, should U-turn as well. So now the other Greninja, or the Serp, is coming in. It is the Greninja. And we still don't know whether this is, like, Protein or Ash, because it's not obvious whether this should be Spikes. But with the information we've gathered, I think it's more likely to be Defog Sizz, and therefore it could still be like 4 attacks Protein, but the extra speed from Ash would be an asset for League's team, although it could be Scarf Superior. I think that's been kind of gaining traction lately, so it is Protein, which is going to be much more threatening because of the possibility of HP Fire. So I don't... Poek seems to be, like, way behind now. He can do some work with the Chomp, but I think his... no, he can definitely still, like, win this with Greninja. But I think if he went to Greninja instead of Chomp... Okay, he weakened Sizz, basically, instead of, like... You can't say whether League would have kept his Lando if Poek went to Greninja, but I think, like, Hydro Pumping with Greninja would have given... Okay, and then he spikes there. Nice read, I guess. No wonder stays in there on the HP Fire. So yeah, that's a nice read going for spikes, and this is not going to be Defog Pelly, so it's probably Dual Stab U-turn Roost, because you wouldn't have Defog with, like, all of these spikes. So yeah, I think League is way on top. Okay, is actually deep. This doesn't make sense, really. Wasn't Clef his... Well, we didn't see him set up rocks, so... Yeah, and you allow the Sizz to heal by doing this, but now Gren is coming in hard, and something's just gonna die, so that Roost was a little short-sighted. Man, not really. He can still choose to get BP damage, he can sack his Lando, or he can just go hard Superior, but it's probably going to take like 70 in the rain. I don't know. It wouldn't be quite 70, I think. Okay, 72. So if I'm Poek, I definitely switch here, because that play makes no sense. Unless you're Scarf Serp, which you already need to be fearing because of how slow League's team is. Like, you can't have Protein Greninja as your fastest thing, and Poek does not Scout. That's, I can't really say disappointing, that's not a nice thing to say, but, yeah. Turns out to be Scarf. That does let Celesteela maybe set up, and this being hit, well, he has the Magearna, but if it's physical, like the set I used in my last video, then this, Tectonic Rage, Celesteela could just make, like, a huge comeback, although I think League probably has enough damage in his team to... Well, let's see it. Oh, baby. It doesn't quite kill, though, so that's really bad, because now he can, like, chip it with Zygarde. He goes to Serp. Maybe this is Scarf Glare. Which, yeah, it kind of makes sense to use your Serp for this. But, like, he could have just gone to Zygarde and gotten off the 1,000 arrows and then put it in range of, like... no, he probably couldn't have. Actually, yeah, I think it would have made maybe more sense to, like, get the 1,000 arrows damage to put this in range of Serp's HP Fire. Because Heavy Slam does... It would probably do, like... 55 to an offensive Zygarde. And the Volt Switch is especially nice there because he doesn't give this thing a beast boost. Because, like, if they started getting attack boosts, it would have been very nasty. I should probably calc that, Tectonic Rage there, just to see. I don't think Magearna would have a chance to die. If it's, like, yeah, he does just go for the Scarf Glare. And Serp dies. What am I looking for? Avalugg. Magearna. Assault Vest. Oh, that did have a chance. 30, that's a decent chance. If he didn't defog, he could have gotten the Oko there. But, like, evidently he didn't think Scarf Serp was gonna... Yeah. Was going to be the set for League. Like, I guess even... Maybe he thought it was... No, he must have been very suspicious of that being Scarf Serp, when the Lando was like... You can probably say that the Lando is his Z-move user from what you've seen, and, like, the Greninja's not even Ash, so he has no good speedy mons other than Scarf Superior. So Chomp comes in. If this is Jolly Zygarde, which I don't like... Oh, I guess it is. Maybe Soul Gazer or... No. Yeah, this is what I was trying to think about. What Soul Gaze is saying in the chat. I was trying to think, like, whether it was smarter to get the 1,000 arrows damage and then revenge with HP Fire Serp, or keep the full HP Zygarde to, you know, beat the rest of Poek's team. So I hope that makes sense. Like, just the order in which you, like, revenge kill the Celesteela will determine which mons you have left. So the way League did it, he gets to keep his Zygarde instead of keeping his Superior. Which makes sense, because, like, it can help to break through the Ferrothorn. So this Gren is back in. He's only shown Hydro Pump, so he might need to hit another one here. Or, like, he could obviously just be Ice Beam, which he would definitely go for if he had it. So yeah, this is the Chomp set I thought it would be, except it has Dragon Claw instead of Outrage. Because with just Earthquake, you kind of struggle to break through Quagsire, which isn't really used on Stall at the moment. You have, like, Toxapex taking up a lot of the roles that Quagsire used to fill. So yeah, this is looking quite bad for Poek. But yeah, League's team is pretty battered. Like, maybe Ferrothorn could win. So he misses Hydro Pump. I don't know whether that would have killed, but that obviously sucks. So now Poek... I think Poek just win. No. He doesn't... Actually, yeah, I think Poek does win. Like, League can go to Lando and intimidate him. Oh man, that's... Now I wish my Lando didn't get crit. Well, it's still not in range of Dragon Claw, I think. Garchomp, Mega, and we can go Greninja. All out attacker, so that Hydro Pump is not even on the set. Hydro Pump. That must be in the rain. Yeah, let's get rid of that. So that wasn't likely to kill the Chomp, but he would have put it in range of Scissors Bullet Punch. Garchomp, Mega, Landorus T, Dragon Claw, 252. So this has about a 40% chance to kill, looking at that calc. Oh, he has Aqua Tail, my bad. So yeah, now League could, like, try to SD up with his Sizz on the -1 Chomp. But I guess it is Defog Sizz after all, because he goes to Zygarde. So I guess Poek can just, like, sack his Pelipper? Because Ferrothorn, like, irritates the Zygarde and the Sizz. I don't know whether we're sure that this is banded Zygarde, but we can kind of, whoops, Celesteela, we can kind of check like this. Dragon Dance. So I think it needs to be banded to have killed that Celesteela, so we can say this is banded. But yeah, if you sack Pelly, you cover the double to Sizz, which, like, isn't really likely at all. But Celesteela can threaten, Pelipper can threaten to, like, Hurricane or Scald Burn the Sizz to prevent it from SDing. And if the Zygarde just goes for 1,000 Arrows or Outrage, you just, like, sack Pelipper and get Ferrothorn in for a Leech Seed. But Poek goes hard Ferrothorn, which is going to get 2-hit KO'd. Yeah, I guess it's fine. Because this way you bring Garchomp back in, and Dragon Claw probably Okos this. Like, it's a mega. We'll just wait and see what happens. Maybe it doesn't. Let's just run the damn calc. Garchomp Mega. There are no Garchomp Mega sets. Dragon Claw. What? Oh, it doesn't even kill. Okay, well that kind of changes things. I wonder whether this probably won't kill Pelipper. Okay, I guess that's some justice. Yeah, so that's how the game should have gone. Sorry, but that didn't matter. I'm SD Sizz. How did that not? What? That totally mattered, dude. SD Sizz doesn't, like, KO Garchomp from there. He also thought Greninja would kill it, so I think he's just, like, underestimating how bulky Garchomp is. Like, Mega Garchomp is ridiculously fat, but I think League deserved to win. Yeah, I think Poek made some misplays, like the Scarf Serp blunder. But, yeah, this BP should do 15%, so I think League has got Game 1. This is best of 3, if I didn't mention that, so we'll see Game 2 in just a hot second. But yeah, I don't think you can really say that you're SD Sizz, so it doesn't matter. Because he's saying that the 1,000 Arrows puts the Pelipper in range of Sizz's U-turn, and then he, like, takes one Earthquake and SDs, and then kills the Chomp from 65 or whatever it was at, but, like, Garchomp is super bulky. Right, and here's Game 2. Poek has I think this might be, like, half Trick Room, because the Kofag could just be Toxic Spike's Kofag. And, League has a Zard and a Heatran, which is kind of weird. Don't know which type of Zard that would be. It's usually a good idea to look at how many electric weaknesses. I think it has to be Zard X. Oh, maybe not, because Heatran's like a pseudo-elect resist if it's specially defensive. But, like, if you have Zard Y, you just have 3 electric weaks in a row here. Admittedly, there is a Tangrowth and a Dugtrio. But if you have a Zard X, then you have... Well, it just wouldn't be the electric resist on this team. Huh, I don't know, but I guess we're going to find out. Maybe. Poek's pretty likely to go to Tran, I guess. That would be his best middle ground. I think if it's Zard X, League wouldn't stay in. So... You'd probably go to Heatran to scout for the Solar Beam. And Heatran would match up well against the Tangrowth. So League would probably switch to Finny here. That makes the most sense to me. This is pretty likely to be the Z-move on Poek's team, which is Breakneck Blitz. A great way to, Oh shit, okay. I guess it's Scarf Keldeo. Wow, okay, Stone Edge is really, that's for Volcarona, so, like, this is 100% Scarfed. But yeah, that's that's something I wouldn't consider because I'm so used to just being able to stay in with my Zard and always like take a Specs Hydro Pump and Oko Keldeo. So that's Scarf Keldeo, we can say that pretty confidently. He knocks off the Shucker Berry, which is a very weird item. I'm trying to think of which Earthquakes that would be relevant for. Maybe for Tangrowth? No, that doesn't really make sense. But yeah, Tangrowth can just stay in an Oko this with Earthquake. They're like all AV at the moment because of a bunch of changes that happened between Oras and Sun and Moon, just all favoured Assault Vest Tangrowth over Helmet. So Poek gets his rocks up, and Finny, you can come in safely knowing that this isn't Bloom Doom. And the Keldeo is probably not a Z move user either. So I guess it could be like Trick Room. I was thinking it would be Trick Room just to like go with Mawile, and Kofag can only do so many things, but like it could be Trick Room Nasty Plot with Never Ending Nightmare, the Ghost Z move. That seems kind of likely now. A bold Stealth Rock there when there's the Dug Trio, but like Finny was so much safer, so you can predict League to make the sensible play there. And I guess we would just see a Defog here, so yeah, that lets the Menace come in. At the moment, I guess Thunder Punch is very threatening. Heatran seems like the most likely neutral play. I don't know whether it would be Will-O-Wisp Heatran. The Misty Terrain is up, so you can't really rely on that. But Wisp Heatran is a good anti-Mawile measure at the moment. He just leaves Finny in to go for a Taunt, which I don't really understand because I don't think SD was likely that. I guess you could predict Celesteela and go for SD, but that's like... It doesn't really ever make sense to SD there. Because if you're predicting Celesteela, you Thunder Punch. You're predicting this to stay in, you Thunder Punch. You're predicting Heatran to come in, you Thunder Punch. There's not really many scenarios when you wouldn't Thunder Punch, and like even less when you would Swords Dance. So nice double there, getting Tran in. This is actually like a super smart move because you get those rocks up. I'm sort of doubting how smart that was now because I don't think he would just sack the Finny, but like it just worked. Yeah, it was just a nice read from Poek because this way you get the rocks up and the Finny is like super low, so you can just taunt it when it comes in, and then those rocks are probably staying up. So League chooses to go hard into his Zard, and you know, you can't say based on turn 1 that he isn't Zard Y. It's just like if he is Zard Y, he would have had the chance to take a trade there between Keldeo and like 80% of his Zard. Turned out it had Stone Edge, so maybe that's an Oko. But yeah, I don't think he would ever want to take that trade because he has like really good Keldeo countermeasures, and Zard Y is really useful at full HP because it can deal with it is Y, but at full HP it can like take a Sucker Punch from Mawile and it can switch straight into Tangrowth, except for the threat of Rock Slide. But HP on this is really nice in this game because Zard has a pretty good matchup. Having seen rocks on Heatran, this could easily be Scarf, so I guess we'll calc which nature the Zard is based on the Focus Blast damage. So oh, it's max HP Lando. That's kind of surprising. Well, like I guess I should have noticed that should have done more. So yeah, Fire Blast is looking pretty easy here. Huh. Unless it's like Assault Vest, but I don't think it's Assault Vest, and even then it would probably die. Like, yeah, I'm not calculating that. Fire Blast is killing this from here, if Focus Blast did 24. So Poek's time is getting low again, like he is super vulnerable to this, so he goes back to Tran on the fire move. And I like, sometimes this is just what you have to do. Zard Y is quite ill-prepared for at the moment, because it's I mean, I haven't used it this gen, but that's kind of because it seems awkward to use at the moment. And yeah, Zardwire has just always been a super hard mon to deal with, like, more so in Warris, because like, it was Zardwire with Pursuit on most Zardwire teams, which meant that you have, like, an even smaller pool of Zardwire countermeasures. So Focus will probably kill this. Like, with the Resist Berry, it's probably fairly offensive. Okay, and then into Kill, and he just Fire Blast again. So that that did so much damage, oh my god. Jesus Christ. So he's pretty free to go to Tangrowth here. Because, oh man, staying in is actually tempting. Because, like, his Keldeo countermeasures are so solid, as he does just get lucky. That sucked. I think maybe the... Oh, okay. Yeah, like, the damage would have been, really nice for Poek. Blunder's popping off in the chat because he's friends with Poek. But yeah, that obviously sucked so much. So Tran comes back in, it's just going to die to Focus Blast. You can't really say that the meat. You can't really say that the risk reward was out of whack, because he's like, League can't rely on defogging that much more in this game because his Finny is super low. Actually, I think Poek was, like, always going to edge there, because you force the Zard out, and then it takes rocks damage, and then if it stays in, you either get the kill or get a huge amount of damage. So, with retrospect, that Zard play was kind of ridiculous. So, I guess Poek feels like he can only win this by, well, like, he couldn't get enough damage on the Zard anyway. No, Never Ending Nightmare was... I guess it doesn't matter, because this Thunder Punch is just going to kill. So, yeah, I think League would keep the Charizard at this point. Nope. Because I was thinking, yeah, it makes sense to stay in, because this way you just go into Celesteela here. I guess Tran actually does the same job better, but you go to, like, anything here. Sorry, it's like 5:30 in the morning here, because nobody ever plays at Australia-friendly times. So I'm a little bit tired, but yeah, Heatran just made more sense there, but, like, if you keep the Zard, you can just, like, sack a few things, then defog, and then kill this with Dugtrio, but then I remembered the Dugtrio doesn't Oko this, so I think staying in with Zard was the better play. And then you just Revenge / get a kill with Heatran. Poek doesn't need to stay in here, like, he could go hard Tangrowth and take any hit, and then there would be one turn of Trick Room up, so he could go for Earthquake, or at least threaten to. And this is probably Z-move Tran. So, if he is the Fire Z-move, he should have used it there, because risking that miss was kind of wild. Otherwise, because, yeah, he could have lost pretty quickly by, missing that Fire Blast if he is Firenium Z, but he could be, like, Solar Beam. Finny doesn't really annoy his team much, so Solar Beam makes less sense. Like, Tangrowth, deals with a lot of the things that you would need Solar Beam for. Plus he has Sun to keep the, you know, let Solar Beam be powered up immediately. So it looks like, I don't think Mawile can kill this from here with Sucker Punch, so I think this is just going to sweep if it hits Fire Blast. So maybe Poek should just SD here. He can't really take any damage. I think Fire Blast might actually be a mistake. You just go for the Sky Strike, and then defog with... This is assuming Sash Dugtrio. But you go for Sky Strike, and then Defog with Finny and Revenge with Dugtrio. So we'll see. Yeah, he does risk the Fire Blast. I don't think that was necessary, but congrats League, he'll get to the top 4, which is nice achievement for him. And unfortunately Poek, who is like one of the favorites, is going to get knocked out, but I guess it's like it's better to have the newer players coming through and like succeeding, but I think he had a safer win at the end there by like Sky Striking to get damage on the Mawile, and then you go to Finny, which is like always faster, and Defog, and then Revenge Kill with Dugtrio, and then you have like Heatran. Maybe he's worried that he couldn't kill the Tangrowth without Celesteela's move. But I think between... what would he have left at that point? He would have Dugtrio, Celesteela, Tangrowth, and Heatran versus Tangrowth, I think. So I guess he wouldn't have Celesteela. He would have Dugtrio, Tangrowth, and Heatran, so he needs to hit a Fire Blast that way anyway, so I guess it makes sense to display it the way he did instead. Because if he misses that Fire Blast, he just goes to Heatran and like has to hit another one. So yeah, he played it fine, I guess. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. I'm just going to sum this up quickly and go to sleep. So, yep, hope you enjoyed, and goodbye.